What up, y'all? I'm back. I want to talk to you tonight about the when you have two narcissists that have been together. You have, like, say, a mid-range narcissist male and a lesser narcissist female. Let's say a lesser narcissist Jezebel female and a mid-range overt narcissist male. What you find is you have the lesser narcissist who doesn't really know exactly what they're doing or that they're a narcissist. The mid-range may or may not know exactly what they are, but they operate more in the construct of more control and more understanding of manipulation, and they have more tools to their advantage. And what ends up ultimately happening is the mid-range narcissist has more tools and ways and in a sense self-control to have control over the lesser narcissist. A lot of times what will happen is when they're brought together in a love situation, the lesser narcissist thinks that they are going to be able to manipulate for let's say the female thinks that they are going to be able to manipulate maybe through sex for financial support, financial gains, or maybe even a roof over their head, that sort of thing. And so the mid-range narcissist will play into that because they will know that they do have the control over them, and so they're also doing it for the sexual the sexual needs that they have, that they can acquire through the lesser narcissist, the Jezebel, right? And so what will happen is they are going to fight for the power of control, but in the beginning it can work because they are both under the construct that they are duping the other. Although the mid-range narcissist is the one that is the one that is really in control, but the lesser narcissist feels that they are also they are unaware to the level of what the mid-range narcissist knows. And so the mid-range narcissist is going to know right away that they're dealing with another narcissist because they are not going to get some of the empathetic responses from the narcissist early on in the dating situation. But unbeknownst to the lesser narcissist, they're going to continue with that. And so what will happen is they will continue to, over time, I'll tell you what, I hate cars that are loud. I have a fast car, a turbo, but there's nothing worse than some idiot with a slow car that sounds loud, or even a fast car that sounds loud. It makes me want. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So they will fight. They will eventually fight for the power of control, because the lesser narcissist will refuse to do certain things, and in that power struggle, they will continue to bang heads. So what will eventually happen is the mid-range narcissist will start to seek out another source of supply for their primary source. We're talking about primary source here. And so then, because they will know that they will not be able to get those they will not be able to get their desires they will not be able to get their desires fulfilled from a lesser narcissist. So then they will seek out and find another source supply that has empathy, and then from there they will dump the lesser narcissist for the empathetic primary source that is newly acquired. And then they will not even talk to them. They will end up leaving them and ghosting them, and giving them silent treatment, because they're going to be infatuated by the new source of supply, and they won't give them not an ounce of time. So what will happen is then the lesser narcissist will not feed into the silent treatment, because they know all about that as well, and they will go off and they will find a new source of supply that will supply them with empathy, and they will be the empath as their new source of supply. And then Wind will get back to the mid-range narcissist, and they will begin to devalue, because they will be injured through this, and they will be jealous through this. They will begin to devalue their new source of empathetic supply through the empath, and then they will go on and hoover back the lesser narcissist. And unbeknownst to you, when you went through your love bomb phase, devalue, discard for the first cycle with the for instance, probably if you're maybe a male, a lesser narcissist, or then for instance you may have gone through this same scenario where you were devalued, and you were devalued for them being hoovered back to the mid-range narcissist, which led to them leaving you for go back to the mid-ranger, which made the lesser narcissist feel that they were again gonna be taking over the control of the relationship with the mid-range narcissist. Unbeknownst to them, it didn't last long, and then they broke up again over power struggle issues and cheating on each other with jealousy and that sort of thing. And so when when they were with you through the first cycle of the love bomb phase, they were typically devaluing the mid-range narcissist, while that they were getting all of the good energy out of the love bomb phase with you. And a lot of times what you'll end up getting is you'll sometimes get later down the road, when you are in another cycle with them and you start to realize who and what you are dealing with and how evil that they can possibly be, that you'll start to realize that you'll see these smirks. And when you see these smirks and you reflect back into the love bomb phase, there was a lot of these smirks that may have looked like smiles, but you will remember them because they are weird. They are weird because they are the entity, in my humble opinion, that is inside them, and it is not them at all. And when that smirk or smile that you got through the love bomb phase looked good to you, but it was odd, because it's not a smirk that humanity can make. The facial movements of the structure of that individual, it's kind of weird. That's how I can put it. What will happen is you will find that when you reflect back, that was them doing duper's delight on you, and it's always duper's delight. But when you find out, you see it in a devaluation phase later on down the road, and understand that they're doing it because they are putting you down, and they're doing it in an evil way when you are very beat down by them, that you'll see it's not a smile for a goodness, but a smile for an evil smirk. That when you reflect back to the love bomb phase, you will find that that was an evident smirk that you remember in the love bomb phase, but you mistook it as a good thing, when in fact it was them duping you then as well. And so you see the entity inside them. Give me a like, a thumbs up, and a subscription, please, if you got a minute and you like the content. So what will end up happening is the mid-range and the lesser narcissist will continue to go back and forth for this type of power struggle each and every time that they devalue and discard the empathic primary source of supply that they are with. So what you can find is that the primary and the secondary may start to become flip-flops of one another in a never-ending cycle. And if you're the empath, you could be flip-flopping with a mid-range narcissist in a situation like this, and then they will get rid of the mid-range narcissist, come back to the empath, you, and then they will get rid of you and go back to the mid-range narcissist. And this could be their cycle of the primary and secondary, and you guys will flip each other over and over again. So sometimes you will become the primary source, and then you will kind of be like a almost ghosted, or you will refuse to talk to them, then you will refuse to give into the silent treatment for several months, and then they will come back to you like so. In the instance of the case of me, it was every 3 months that this kind of thing would happen. 3 to 4 months. 4 months, every 3 to 4 months, something like that. And I did this with the lesser narcissist for a period of time, unbeknownst to me. And then they have tertiary supplies that, you know, that they would see every now and then. And, you know, tertiary types of supplies. But you may see this in your life. I don't know if this is confusing, but it should make sense. So anyway, that's a situation that may come about. But stand tall, soldier up. Peace out. Love y'all.